Welcome back to Optimal Play. Despite rocking kind of a vacation look, I'm still Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
How are you doing? It's been a little while.
Even though you were just in the Bahamas, I'm actually also sunburnt. So, we're a little bit matching there.
It's warm and sunny here in LA too, so.
Yeah. Great day at the beach this morning.
I was extremely sunburned. Now I'm just peeling. So
Yeah.
hopefully you can't see that on camera. But we're here to talk about our first impressions of the player cards in the Union and Disillusion Mythos pack. Have you taken a look at these yet?
No, I even though it came out a few days ago, I was busy the last few days, so I haven't taken a look.
Okay, yeah, we're recording a little later than usual because of my vacation, and Optimal Play's been a little stale. Sorry about that. Now that I'm back, more videos coming your way. But I also haven't touched Arkham in 2 or 3 weeks.
I did play a week ago. And I played the last one for the greater good a second time, and was able to do kind of better. But even though we got a good resolution, didn't get much XP, so kind of a mixed bag. But
Okay.
At least I remember when we played, we didn't see any of the interlude at all. This time we got to see some of the interlude.
Oh right, yeah. You only get to see that in certain situations.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Which we streamed that game,
Yep.
and that archive is now up on the YouTube channel. So check that out to see our failure for the greater good.
Kind of a little bit successful.
Yeah,
no one permanently died. It was a possibility.
It definitely was. It got rocky there. And in fact, we are going to live stream our Union Dissolution play after this review, right?
Yep.
Which, if you're seeing this on YouTube, we're not recording this live, so you're too late. But you can go to twitch.tv/optimalplay to see the archive there, or we will try to get it up on the YouTube channel. If it doesn't end in too humiliating fashion, we'll get that up there, and you can probably find it on our channel too.
Yep.
With that, I'm a little rusty, but I'm excited to get back into Arkham, take a look at the new player cards. We usually try to revisit the last pack to kind of revise our opinions if they've changed at all. I did not get any of those level 3 upgrades to the table since last time. Have you?
Yeah, I didn't either. They all required 3 XP. You either don't have 3 XP or maybe you're playing with something else.
Right.
You kind of have to plan ahead a bit more for the 3 XP stuff.
Yeah.
But, some of them seemed good. I'm sure we'll play them eventually.
Yeah, I'll make an effort to get to some of them, and then maybe we can revisit them a little late when the next pack comes out.
Yeah.
With that, then, should we dive in?
Yeah.
As we stacked these up here, we counted it's just 9 in this pack.
Yeah, a little light.
I wonder what class gets the short shrift. Find out. It doesn't look like it's Guardian, though. The 2-cost Guardian Event Warning Shot is the first in the pack. It's a tactic and a trick. As an additional cost to play Warning Shot, spend 1 ammo from a firearm asset you control. Move all non-elite enemies at your location to a connecting location. This attack does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Right off the bat, this is a flavor win.
Mm-hmm.
I love any time that a card can have a really flavorful expression through the mechanics of the game, and using an ammo from your firearm to make all the enemies flee. It's pretty awesome. What do you think of it?
So I think it's probably only good in 3-player plus. Like you're not doing this for one enemy,
Mm-hmm.
So in order to increase the chance that multiple enemies are spawning on you, I think 3+ is probably the sweet spot. I do remember this being previewed now, and I remember some people saying, "Oh, maybe this will cause like Carolyn to take a gun." I don't think I would take a gun just to play this.
Mm.
I think you have to be a character that can also use guns.
Yeah. We're not quite at that critical mass of cards that use bullets in other ways like this one does, that it would be worth playing guns that you're never going to just fight with.
Yeah. Maybe Diana, like, later in the game, maybe she's just trying to use up ammo to use her hand slots for other stuff. I know Diana's slots are very contentious. And she's not she's good enough with guns that it's not the worst to have a gun, but it's also... it's not like she's amazing with guns the way that Mark or Leo is.
Right.
So,
and I look at this, and obviously, to work with firearms, it only makes sense to be Guardian. But just what Guardians generally have set themselves up to do is kill all the stuff at their location. So this comes across to me as a little bit niche, just because most of the time, again, Carolyn kind of stands out as maybe despite not playing guns, usually the one who would actually want to scare away the enemies to let someone else deal with them, or just or complete the scenario.
Yeah, I think you could try it in a Joe and like 3 or 4 player, and maybe near the end of the game, you're like, you know what, I could kill these things, but like, I'm just going to scare them away and then get the rest of the clues and win.
Right.
So I think it could be worth trying in Joe, Diana, maybe Roland, but yeah, not the like straight up like Mark, Leo, like I'm just slaughtering.
Right. Cool card though.
Yeah.
Want to give us the next one?
All right, Telescopic Sight. It's a 3 cost, 3 XP item and upgrade. Fast, attached to a firearm asset you control that takes up 2 hand slots. Attached asset cannot be used to attack enemies engaged with you. And then reaction, when you perform a fight action using attached asset, if you are engaged with no enemies, exhaust the sight. This attack can target a non-elite enemy at a connecting location. Ignore the aloof and retaliate keywords.
Well, this gives a lot more purpose to warning shot right here.
Yeah, well, so
you fire off the warning shot, make the enemies flee to a connecting location, and then pick them off with the telescopic sight. Like, right? These are in the pack together. That's the idea.
Maybe.
You're skeptical.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So you can't. Yeah. You cannot use this to warning shot on a connecting location because this is not a fight. Warning shot's not a fight action.
Sure, I just mean use these cards one after another.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I think maybe it'll make the sniper rifle finally decent.
I don't know about that. It's kind of, so marksmanship is the name of the event that does something similar, right? It lets you target an adjacent enemy. I think it does some extra damage too. I'm a fan of that card, yet have never really gotten like built around it.
Yeah.
This is kind of that, but in an attachment to your gun, so you can do it again and again and again, which sounds pretty great. And I'm really I think this has pushed me over into really wanting to build a Guardian deck. I'm not sure who would be best, maybe Mark, but that builds like the Uber gun. Have it be well maintained, put a telescopic sight on it, all this, every upgrade you can imagine, so that you just have this gun with tons of ammo. What's the blessed card? Custom ammunition. Yeah, add ammo, make it just target enemies all over the map.
If you do Leo, you can include contraband too.
Ooh, I like that, yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm eager to give this a try.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Sure.
Up to the Seeker cards with Knowledge is Power. It's a 0-cost event. Surprise, this Seeker event is an insight. Fast, play only during your turn. Choose a tome or spell asset you control, or reveal a tome or spell asset from your hand. Resolve an action or fast ability on that asset, ignoring all costs, including its action cost, if any. Then, if that asset was in your hand, you may discard it to draw 1 card. And Power Corrupts.
Knowledge is power and power corrupts.
Right, I like it. Okay, I'm processing this.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So I think the way it works, so you can say reveal shriveling from your hand, do 1 shrivel, then either put it back in your hand or discard it to draw a card.
Right. And so that works with spells. Also, if it's in play, you can use a spell, something like, say, Shriveling again.
Yeah.
You use it, you get to skip the action. Yeah, like you're using it fast, and you're saving a charge, right?
Yeah.
It says ignore all costs.
Yeah, so I guess a card for both an action and a charge. Like, if it was just one of those things, it'd be iffy, but for both, that's pretty decent.
Yeah. I think this has some potential. It's not good for the Hunch deck. I don't see Joe getting a lot of use out of this.
Yeah. You know what it would be really good in, actually? So Daisy, when your hand slots are already full, so you draw a tome, but your hand slot's already full. So you put it out, you get to use a tome in your hand for free. Then you discard it to draw a card, because you don't really want it, because you already have a tome out that's taking up your hand slot. See what I mean?
Sure, yeah. That seems like... But what do tomes do? They look at the top 3 cards of your deck and draw one? Like, are they doing strong enough things to like devote card slots to building around that?
Well, I mean, I think in Daisy you're typically picking like 3 or 4 tomes.
Yeah, I mean, for Daisy you are, yeah. Okay. I think it's cool, and I think it's efficient. I just don't know when I'm going to devote deck slots to it.
Yeah. I mean, if Daisy's also including like shriveling, then you have like double use maybe.
That's true. Yeah, Daisy, because she is yellow and purple. She's going to have a lot of eligible cards in her deck. Okay, we'll have to give it a try. Maybe it'll surprise me. Hey, it's a tome.
Oh, okay. So this is 3 cost, 1 XP, item tome, with 4 secrets on it. So you can spend an action and a secret and exhaust it. Choose a revealed location that is exactly 2 connections away from your location. Move to that location.
I think you forgot to read the title of the card, by the way.
Oh, Esoteric Atlas. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 uses. I mean, unless you add more secrets to it. Spend a secret, exhaust it to move 2 locations.
Exactly 2.
Yeah, lets you skip over enemies. It's a lot like track shoes. Is that training shoes?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
In that, because it lets you move 2 spaces at a time, getting over enemies.
Yeah. And it's kind of like Pathfinder. So Pathfinder is a free 1 move, and this is a 1 action 2 move. Both Pathfinder and track shoes in this, they're all 3 costs. This is the only one that eventually runs out. And part of that is probably the Daisy tax, that like it's just super efficient in Daisy.
Yeah.
It's still kind of that issue of like, if they print a tome, it has to either be like not that great, and so that it's fair in Daisy, or it's super good, in which case it's broken in Daisy.
Yeah, so Daisy is limiting tome design space.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. So next taboo list update, we're saying Daisy is going to. I don't know what change you'd even make, but yeah, I think it's worth a try in Daisy. This is the story with every tome, and it's why I'm kind of, even though Daisy's a great character and everyone's always rooting for more tomes, more toys for her to play with. Every time I see a tome, it's just like, well, this is good for Daisy, I guess, and it gets a little old, a little redundant. I guess congrats, Daisy. You got another tome.
Yeah.
I don't have too much else to say about it.
Yeah, it's like super Pathfinder for her. It goes 2 instead of 1. Although,
true.
If you only want to go 1, so I guess there are still circumstances where Pathfinder is better, because you might only want to go 1, and this does not let you.
I mean, you could do a basic move action if you want to go 1.
But not with your Daisy action.
Oh, true. That's a good point. Huh. Yeah, so not even better than Pathfinder for Daisy necessarily.
In something.
That's not what I like to see. All right, let's get that one out of here.
Oh, actually, sorry.
Ooh.
Here is a issue with it. It has to be a revealed location 2 connections away.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the other move things, I believe, you can move into unrevealed locations.
I think most of the time when you're skipping locations as we revealed, you can't elusive into an unrevealed location, I don't think.
Sure, but like you can track shoes into an unrevealed, I believe.
Sure, that's because it's 2 movements, right? It's 2 single moves.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of the difference.
And also, I think you can Pathfinder into an unrevealed, right?
Again, that's just a free movement.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like compared to those cards, like that is this has by far the most limited circumstances.
I'm trying to remember. Does astral travel require a location to be revealed? I don't know either. None of these cards are that good, so maybe this one isn't either. All right, ready for Rogue?
Yep.
Investments. It's a 1 cost Rogue asset. It's a connection. It uses 0 supplies, but has a limit of 10 supplies on it.
Yep.
Exhaust it as a fast action to place 1 supply on it, and then as an action, exhaust and discard it. Move all supplies from it to your resource pool as resources. So you pay 1 up front, and then however many rounds you can wait for those resources is how many resources you get in return.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a good way to get big bursts of money, so you can play the services, the other big high-cost cards that we've seen for Rogue this cycle. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I could see this in a variety of Rogue decks. Maybe you replace it with Hot Streak or something as you get more money, but I think if you're playing like a get-rich Rogue deck, you would play it. And honestly, even like a Dark Horse Preston, you could put this in just so that like you can pay for the weakness when you draw it,
True. Or it's a good way to have have resources like within reach, but keep your dark horse
Yeah.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. The downside to me, the glaring issue with it is it's a terrible card in the late game. Right.
Yeah.
With only 3 rounds left, you're not going to spend the time, the resource, and the actions to play this, and it doesn't have very good icons on it. The one intellect icon, like
Yeah, if it was like intellect and agility or something,
Yeah.
like, so it had a little more.
or two or a double of any
Yeah.
icon. Like for a card that has a large chunk of the time, it's just a really bad draw. You'd like to see better icons to help make up for that. That would make it a lot better
One
card to me.
wild would be fair.
Sure, a wild. So that's a bummer, but all right, cool. We got another rogue card.
Oh yeah, so this is Decoy, 2-cost event, favor and service, and then it's got the like 3-part card sort of structure as an intel report.
Mm-hmm.
So it says evade, automatically evade a non-elite enemy at your location. Then reaction, when you play Decoy, increase its cost by 2, change a non-elite enemy to up to 2 non-elite enemies. Reaction, when you play Decoy, increase its cost by 2, change at your location to at a location up to 2 connections away. So essentially, 2 cost to automatically evade an enemy at your location, 4 cost to either evade 2 enemies at your location or evade 1 enemy that's up to 2 locations away, and then 6 costs to evade 2 different enemies that are up to 2 locations away.
I still hate the way these cards are templated. The fact that this wasn't keyworded, the service mechanic that we seem to... Is this only our second one?
Second one. Yeah.
Okay, after Intel report. The cards are so hard to grok.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think it's cool. Automatically evading is strong.
Yep.
I don't know who wants to play it that is going to find themselves in a situation where they're evading 2 or more enemies.
Yeah, so do you remember, did Cunning Distraction have the non-elite clause on it?
I believe so.
Okay, so like...
I'm not sure, though.
So if Cunning Distraction has that same clause, this is probably better than Cunning Distraction. Because like, how often are you evading 3 enemies with that?
Yeah.
So this one lets you evade 2 enemies for 1 less than Cunning Distraction, or pay 1 more to do it at a different location.
What do you think of that? How often do you want to evade enemies that are up to 2 connections away?
I think like in multiplayer, you don't want, if your seeker draws an enemy and they're 2 locations away from you or something.
Right. I was thinking just like a hunter that you're trying to slow down, but also it could be something that's engaged with someone else entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
I definitely, I can see the use case
pretty
there.
Cool. So I suspect that this will replace Cunning Distraction in Preston, but not 100% sure.
I would say so, or maybe just runs them both.
Though I have trouble finding even room for 2 Cunning Distractions. Like, there's just a lot of cards you want to press.
What are the icons on Cunning Distraction? Any idea?
I think it's the same. I think it's 2 agility.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not 100% sure.
Because these icons are great too. Anytime there's 2 matching icons, I'm like pretty happy to play a card, even if it's arguably like not useful in a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. We have kind of fanning out my cards a little bit here. It looks like Mystic is the one with just 1 card.
Yeah.
Which I think it had an extra card earlier in the cycle. I forget maybe in the secret name. So.
And also in the Investigators.
Oh, well, yeah. An extra Investigator card, of course. Yeah. Okay. Oh, De Vermis Mysterious. Sure. I'm not sure what language that is, if it's Latin or something else. But sure. De Vermis Mysterious. Signs of the Black Stars. So, fun fact, on my vacation in the Bahamas, I read the Norman novella, which was all right, and it mentions this text. So it's right. Like it was meant to be.
I feel like this should be in the Daisy novella.
I feel like it will. I feel like we'll see these in there too when that eventually happens. It is another tome. It's a 2-cost mystic asset, level 2. And it says, as an action, exhausts De Vermis Mysterious and place 1 doom on it. Play a spell or insight event from your discard pile, reducing its resource cost by 1. After that event resolves, remove it from the game. Ludwig Prynne was its author, he who had perished at the inquisitorial stake in Brussels when the witchcraft trials were at their height. Robert Bloch, the Shambler from the Stars. Okay, so it's quoting a mythos book, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it ties into the witchcraft theme of the cycle.
Interesting. So the 2 XP makes me think Daisy, because that's the biggest Mystic cards you can take. The only thing is the placing of Doom. I don't think we've ever made a Daisy deck that like had all the Doom control cards, like Moonlight Ritual.
Yeah, it would be.
I guess you could.
I mean, playing spells and insights. Also, by the way, this is another thing that makes it look like a Daisy card to me, including insights, because those are practically all Seeker, right?
Yeah.
So it works great with Seeker cards. Playing a spell or an insight from your discard pile for 1 cheaper, and having that be repeated, at the cost of Doom, is real strong. It might be worth building that Daisy deck.
Yeah. And I guess, if you're including a lot of tomes, you can just override it with a different tome.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. As long as I think if you have the tote bag, then you don't have a choice until all your hand slots are full, right?
Well,
override it.
Yeah. But like Mad Glasses also use hand slots and stuff, so.
Right. So that is a way to get the Doom off the table. Yeah, and it's... So I still haven't played Marie. Her deck building rules are not real fresh in my mind. Is it just Mystic cards and she's the one who can play occults?
She can take... so she can take spells up to level 5. So she can take Suggestion from Rogue. She can also take 5 level 0 Seeker and...
okay. So she can get some Seeker like insights to take advantage of this if she's playing this card too. I've got to think that this is also intended for Marie just because it's putting Doom on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've said this on here before that the Doom, I don't like that playstyle. I'm not a fan of, maybe because I mostly play multiplayer. I don't like that everyone's going to lose rounds of play because of my strategy. So it's not a style that I have gravitated towards, but it's good to see more support for it, more reason to play Moonlight Ritual.
Yeah, so I am a huge Marie fan. She's maybe my favorite investigator. I still feel like this is probably most efficient in Daisy. And it's getting me thinking, like, does Daisy now take David Renfield? Because if you're playing Moonlight Ritual, you want more than one Doom thing. So I think if you're playing this, you want to play Renfield as well. And then I'm thinking but the Seeker allies are so good. But maybe you take Charisma and David Renfield and Milan or something. So there's probably a build out there. I mean,
at least with Milan's nerf on the taboo list, that opens up that space a little bit.
Yeah. And is Daisy's 5 intellect?
She is, yes.
So I guess, maybe you can live without Milan. It is unfortunate. So, clearly there's a lot of support for a spell casting Daisy with this card and the previous one, the Knowledge is Power. But Higher Ed just got an extra 5 XP. So if you're playing Taboo, Daisy untabooed is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because you can take Higher Ed and do all the spells. But
Seekers are, Seekers without the taboo list are just nuts.
But, that's also why it'll be an interesting challenge. So, you do take maybe this and Renfield, and that gets you up to 4 Will, because Renfield boosts Will 1. Then maybe you take the Will Tarot or something, and then you're 5 and 5. Or you can take the camera, and so you could have a spell slinging Daisy.
Interesting. I had not thought about that use for the camera. Is get that willpower boost and use it to cast spells.
Yeah. So I like cards like this where I'm like, if I include this card, then... So I include this card, which means I have to include Moonlight Ritual, which means I include David Renfield, which means I include, the camera.
Your mind just goes wild.
Yeah. So, I think it's good if only for that. I'll have to build the deck to see if it actually works, but,
I look forward to playing a campaign with you playing Doom Daisy.
Yes.
Okay, we're to the last but not least, as always, Survivor cards.
Yep.
Why don't you give us Guiding Spirit?
All right, it's a 1 cost, 1 XP ally, which is a Geist. You get +1 book. And then non-direct horror must be assigned to Guiding Spirit before it can be assigned to your Investigator card. So it's the same text as the Composure. And then it says forced, after Guiding Spirit is defeated by horror, exile it. So it's gone from the campaign period. But unlike the Composures, this is 3 sanity, not 1. So it should be fairly easy to keep it alive.
Yeah, I think I like this. Also, obviously it's 1 XP and 1 resource cost, but comparing this to Cherished Keepsake, as far as just Survivor having some Horror Soak, this seems quite a bit stronger. Just 3 Soak in 1 card and providing another benefit while it's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's taking up a more valuable slot.
Yeah.
So I think, you're probably playing Charisma because most survivors also want to have Pete. Like, he's just so efficient.
Yeah, it's like, in what world where
And also-
Pete exists do you play this?
Well, and really, you also want Pete because you want another source of Horror Soak. Otherwise, this is just going to get exiled.
True.
So it's kind of a 4 XP card because you have to take Charisma as well.
I like the idea that you have to level up your charisma to get help from ghosts.
Yeah. You know what? It takes a very charismatic person to be friends with jocks and ghosts.
Absolutely, that's one talented that's one talented individual. Yeah, I'm eager to try it, and I'm trying to think who wants the intellect boost.
Honestly, I think all of them do. Survivors, a lot of them only have 2 intellect, but they all still have tricks to get clues, especially if they get close.
Yeah.
So, I think it is useful for every single one, and it will probably be a staple of a lot of solo survivors because that's, it's one thing to rely on just some tricks in multiplayer where you're maybe expected to get a third of the clues, a quarter of the clues, or whatever.
Right.
But to get all of the clues, it's pretty rough to have 2 intellect the way that Silas and Rita do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it'll be a staple of Survivor solo decks.
Cool. Well, our last card, wow, has some pretty awesome art. Fortune or Fate is a level 2 cost Survivor event that shows an eye in the hurricane above a boat surrounded by choppy waves. I'm a fan. Fortune and blessed traits. And so does this mean, can Mateo play this?
Yeah, so that was literally the first
Yeah.
thing I thought when I saw this is is Mateo finally getting a card he can play that's not Mystic? Or
Wow.
custom ammunition?
And as you were saying that, I've started to read ahead, and my eyes went wide. Fast. Play when Doom would be placed on any scenario card. Max 1 per game. Cancel 1 Doom just placed on that card. Exile Fortune or Fate. This buys an entire another round in the game, or before an agenda flips.
Yep.
Wow, this seems great.
This does seem really good.
Comparing this to the Golden Pocket Watch, is that the name of the
Yeah.
card? The rogue card that skips a phase or gives you an extra phase. It's a similar kind of effect where it doesn't skip all the encounter cards, which the watch does when it skips the Mythos phase, but it buys you a round and costs a lot less XP.
Sure, that you have to buy this every time, so it exiles itself.
It does. Oh, I processed that as remove it from the game so it couldn't be recurred. It does exile. Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. I still think this is real cool. And again, it being mostly player, buying a round is extremely strong. You're in a 3-player game, preventing a Doom is +9 actions. That seems great, and I've been hungry for more Survivor XL cards. Survivors do tend to get to a point pretty quickly where they have a little bit of expendable experience that they're happy to spend on XL cards, but none of them are that amazing.
Yeah, and I think it'll take Mateo a little bit farther to get to the point where there's no more XP, but it is between Arcane Research and Delve Too Deep, it is possible for Mystics to get to the point where they kind of run out of stuff to spend.
True.
So, he might also, or maybe in scenario 7 or something, get to the point where he's I can spend 2.
Sure.
It's a one-shot.
And hey, it's a niche card that you won't need or want to play every game, but it's got a wild icon.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. It will not exile itself if you just use it for the wild.
Yeah, so I'm a little happier to have it in my hand than some of the other cards we've looked at.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, any overall thoughts about the pack?
I liked how after a pack, the last pack that was all one theme of just these upgrades of dual class, that this is really just a total grab bag of very different cards. And a lot of them are cards I'd like to try,
Yeah, I really enjoy when cards go together in a pack like Warning Shot and Telescopic Sight that give you that light bulb moment of like, oh, these two cards are great together, and they give kind of a package that you can integrate into a new deck to try out this new thing. So I'm really eager to try that, and I mean, the other that occurred also in the pack with Knowledge is Power and the tomes that are in here, but I'm maybe a little less excited about the tomes themselves than I am the Telescopic Sight, but. Yeah, I think this makes me mostly want to play Guardian and try building some guns with all these upgrades.
Yeah, I think because I haven't tried the well maintained yet, so
I haven't either.
To do, and I guess if you had enough money too, well maintained returns everything to your hand when it's done, right? Mm-hmm. So if you had enough money, you could replay the gun and all of the upgrades to get everything back.
Yes.
It's just expensive.
And if that gun is the level 3 Guardian Tommy gun, then you're making money as you fire it.
Oh, good point.
So you have the money to replay it when it's out of ammo.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a deck that I am going to build.
Yeah, maybe it should be Zoe because she gets the extra money. So.
Oh, true. Yeah, it is a big money Guardian deck for sure. Cool. Well, should we turn the cameras off and play some Arkham?
Yeah.
I guess turn that camera off, turn on other ones because we'll be live streaming it on Twitch.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Steven.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. And until next time, be optimal.